If you've been looking at booking a cruise this year, chances are you've seen the new Norwegian Luna popping up everywhere. It's one of the newest ships at sea, it looks incredible in photos, and on paper, it kind of promises everything: better food, more space, and a more premium experience overall. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what it's really like on board: the design, the food, the vibe, and whether this is actually a ship worth your money. Norwegian Luna is part of Norwegian's newer ship class, kind of the next step after Prima and Viva, and you can feel that right away. This ship isn't trying to be the biggest at sea. It's not going after that Royal Caribbean megaship energy. Instead, Luna leans more into a premium, design-focused experience. It carries around 3,500 guests, so it's still a large ship, but the way it's laid out is meant to feel more open, a little more upscale, and less crowded than what you might be used to on older ships. Right now, it's sailing out of Miami, doing Caribbean itineraries, so this is very much a warm-weather, outdoor-focused ship. A lot of what makes Luna stand out really comes down to how it connects you to the ocean. That's kind of the theme you'll notice throughout this ship. And once you start walking around, especially on the outer decks, that design choice becomes really obvious. There's a lot more space, a lot more light, and everything just feels a little more open compared to older ships. You're not immediately funneled into tight hallways or crowded central areas. Instead, the ship kind of invites you outward. And that's really because of one of the biggest design features on Luna, Ocean Boulevard. This wraps all the way around parts of the ship, and it's not just a walking track. There are actual spaces out here where you can sit, relax, grab a drink, or just look out at the water without feeling packed in. You've got infinity pools, lounge areas, and these little pockets that feel almost like you're on a private terrace instead of a cruise ship with thousands of people. And that's something Luna does really well. It spreads people out. Even when the ship is busy, it doesn't always feel crowded in the way older ships can. Now, visually, it also leans a bit more modern and upscale. You'll notice a lot of clean lines, neutral tones, and a design that feels closer to a boutique hotel than a traditional cruise ship. And on the outside, the hull art definitely stands out. That said, it's not perfect. There are moments, especially in certain indoor areas, where things can still bottleneck a bit, particularly during peak times like dinner or show transitions. So while the ship feels more spacious overall, you're not completely avoiding crowds. But compared to a lot of other ships in this size range, it's a noticeable step up in how the space is designed and used. When it comes to the rooms on Norwegian Luna, this is where you really start to see that shift toward a more modern, slightly more premium feel. The design is clean, a little more minimal, and overall just more functional. Storage is better thought out, lighting feels more intentional, and nothing really feels outdated. Solo cabins are also a solid option. Norwegian still does this better than most cruise lines, so if you're traveling alone, this is one of the easier ships to book without overpaying. Now, on the higher end, you've got the Haven. This is basically a ship within a ship concept. Private restaurant, private pool, dedicated spaces, and it's definitely the most elevated experience you can have on board. If you want a quieter, more controlled environment, especially on a ship that still carries a few thousand people, the Haven makes a big difference. But if your plan is to explore the ship, try all the dining, and be out and about most of the time, you might not fully use what you're paying for. So for most people, I'd say balcony cabin is the value play. Haven is more about the experience. Food is a big part of any cruise, and on Norwegian Luna, it's handled pretty well. There's a good mix of options, and overall, it's consistent. Starting with the included dining, the main dining rooms, Hudson's and Commodore room, feel more upscale than what you typically see on a cruise. The spaces themselves are really well done, especially Hudson's with those big windows looking out over the ocean. The menu is solid. Not everything is going to blow you away, but it's consistent, and there's enough variety that you're not getting bored halfway through your trip. But the real standout on this ship is Indulge Food Hall. This is easily one of the best casual dining concepts at sea right now. Instead of a traditional buffet, you've got a collection of different food stations, like Q Texas Smokehouse for barbecue, Tamara for Indian dishes, Tapas Food Truck for small plates, the Latin Quarter for Latin-inspired food, and Just Desserts for sweets. So you're not stuck walking around with a tray trying to figure things out. You can sit down, order from a tablet, and everything just comes out to you. It feels a lot more like a modern food hall than a cruise buffet, and that alone makes a big difference in the overall experience. And then you've got the local, which is kind of your go-to anytime spot. This is where you end up late at night, in between activities, or when you just want something quick and familiar. Burgers, wings, sandwiches, that kind of comfort food. It's not trying to be fancy, but it's consistent, it's included, and it fills a really important gap that a lot of ships don't always get right. Now, when it comes to specialty dining, this is where Norwegian really leans in. And honestly, this is where Luna starts to feel more premium. Cagney's Steakhouse is still one of the anchors. If you want a classic steakhouse experience, filet, ribeye, sides, a more traditional dinner, this is the safe pick. It's consistent across the fleet, and that's kind of the point. Onda by Scarpetta is a step up in terms of atmosphere. This is more of a date night restaurant. Fresh pasta, lighter Italian dishes. It's one of the better balanced specialty options on the ship. Then you've got Le Bistro, which leans French. This is more on the upscale side. Think escargot, rich sauces, a quieter setting. But if you want something that feels a bit more like a traditional fine dining restaurant, this is where you go. For seafood, Palomar stands out. This one actually surprises a lot of people. Clean flavors, Mediterranean-style seafood, and a menu that feels a little lighter compared to the heavier steakhouse options. Los Lobos brings in Mexican flavors, but in a more elevated way. Not just casual tacos, but more composed dishes with a bit more depth. And then you've got the interactive spots like teppanyaki, which is more about the experience. And the food itself is what you'd expect. Fried rice, noodles, steak, chicken, and shrimp cooked right in front of you. So it's simple, but it's done well and comes out fresh and hot. You've also got Nama, which focuses on sushi and modern Japanese flavors. It's a good option if you want something lighter but still feel like you're having a specialty dining experience, especially if you're into sushi or sashimi. That said, Luna has a great variety of specialty restaurants for guests who really want that elevated dining experience on board. In terms of things to do, Luna has a few standout attractions that are clearly designed to compete with the newer ships out there. The biggest one is the Aqua Slidecoaster. It's part roller coaster, part water slide, and it's definitely one of those features that looks as intense as it actually is. It's something you'll probably want to try at least once, even if you're not usually into slides. Then you've got the Glow Court, which is a multi-use space that changes throughout the day. During the day, it's used for sports and activities, and at night it transforms into more of a lit-up, immersive space with a completely different vibe. It's one of those newer concepts that adds variety, especially on sea days. And then going back outside, the pool areas and infinity edges tie back into that whole Ocean Boulevard concept. There's more emphasis on having different places to sit, different views, and not just one central pool where everyone ends up. So whether you want something more active or just a place to relax by the water, the ship does a pretty good job of giving you both options without forcing you into one type of experience. When it comes to entertainment, Norwegian Luna keeps things a bit more balanced, with a mix of shows and live performances throughout the ship. There are a few different shows on board, each with a slightly different style depending on what you're in the mood for. One of them is built around Elton John's music, and it's one of those productions that's easy to get into, even if you're not specifically going for the show itself. It's well done, good energy, and it feels a bit more modern compared to some of the older cruise productions. There's also HIKO, which is a completely different kind of show, more high-tech and visual, with a sci-fi feel, mixing acrobatics, dance, and effects into something that's a lot more immersive. Outside of that, you've got live music spread throughout the ship, lounges, bars, smaller venues, and that's really where Luna feels more relaxed. You can sit down with a drink and listen to live music, move between venues, or keep things low-key if you want. Nightlife is there, but it's not overwhelming. There are parties, DJs, and more high-energy spaces if you're looking for that. But overall, the ship leans a little more toward a mixed crowd. Couples, groups, people who want a balance between going out and actually relaxing. The spa area on Luna follows Norwegian's Mandara spa concept, with thermal suites, a sauna, steam room, and heated loungers if you're looking for a quieter, more relaxed space on board. The fitness center is well equipped with modern machines, free weights, and ocean views, plus classes available if you want something more structured during your cruise. At the end of the day, Norwegian Luna does a lot right. It feels more modern, more open, and a little more thought out compared to some of the older ships, especially when it comes to the design and the way the space is used. The food is a strong point. There's a good mix of things to do, and overall it leans more toward a slightly more premium experience without going fully luxury. That said, it's not perfect. There are still moments where it feels busy, and depending on how you cruise, not every upgrade or extra cost is going to feel worth it. But if you're looking for a newer ship with a good balance of food, design, and overall atmosphere, Luna is definitely one that's worth considering. And if you're deciding between this and some of the other new ships out there, that's really where it comes down to personal preference more than anything else. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel for more cruise reviews and dining experiences.